Today I'll be showing you how to capture and use the tower bosses as your partner pals in the newly released Palworld. Do us a favor and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. The key to accomplishing this glitch is to first get a wanted level. You can do this pretty easily by visiting one of the NPC villages, such as the Fisherman's Village, Dune Shelter, or Small Settlement, which is right next to the first tower boss. You'll want to fast travel into one of these villages and find a guard. Sometimes it takes a while for them to load. As you can see here, I'm just running around in circles for about 5 seconds and then it spawns. Go ahead and hit them and then run to the fast travel point. You'll want to teleport to whatever boss you'd like to attempt to catch. In my case, I'll be going in the order of difficulty, which means I'll be heading to the tower of the Rayne Syndicate, which is guarded by Zoe and Grizzbolt. Once you get to the tower, you'll want to initiate the boss battle and join as fast as possible. There is a timer until the wanted goes away, so go ahead and skip the cinematic as well. My advice for you once you get in is to go ahead and hit the guard, as that will reset the timer from when they'll despawn. Once you have successfully hit the guard and you see damage numbers tick right next to them, the next objective is to get the boss to be in between you and that guard. You essentially need the boss to take damage from the guard without you damaging it. If done correctly, you'll usually see the boss run off to the side like this and just stand there. Go ahead and throw a Pal Sphere at their back and you should be able to catch them. It may take a couple, but I've never had to throw more than 3. You can then exit the tower by hitting return to title. This will put you at the title screen and you'll be able to load back in right outside the tower. As you can see, I now have Zoe and Grizzbolt in my party as a partner pal. I'm able to throw them out and use them in battle. If you look closely, you'll see that they have the same health pool as when you fought them as a boss, which makes them entirely overpowered. You can also go in here and select any of the active skills you want to use. They typically have a pretty big pool of active skills. One thing to remember is that their special skill is never equipped, so do not forget to go in there and equip it after you capture them. As you can see in this clip, the technology that you unlock for each pal is active on these two. So for Grizzbolt, I can mount him along with the boss and sit next to the boss, walk around and use the machine gun. Next up, we have the Tower of the Free Pal Alliance, which is guarded by Lily and Lyleen. There's not much to this encounter, just make sure she doesn't hit you with her roots and snare you. If she does, you won't be able to dodge or do any of that stuff. Obviously, being a higher level is better, but as you'll see later, not required. You'll notice that the level and the health pool is substantially higher than Grizzbolt. This will be a recurring theme. Next up is going to be the Tower of the Brothers of the Eternal Pyre, which is guarded by Axel and Orserk. As you can see in this clip, I got extremely lucky and the guard shot right away. Sometimes this isn't the case and you need to chase them down or shoot them or do something extra. If you're having a hard time knowing whether or not the guard shot them, just take a look at the health bar. If the numbers on the left and right don't match, you're good to catch. This has got to be one of my favorite looking pals in the game. Kind of has that Garchomp feel, but with electric and wings. Next up, we have the Tower of the PIDF, which is guarded by Marcus and Faleris. I'm just going to tell you straight up, this one is not worth your time and you should probably do something else in the game. However, if you're determined like me, the only way I've been able to capture it is to bring a flying mount in here. You need to mount your flying mount and get the boss in between you and the guard and hope to Xerog that guard actually shoots. This was the most frustrating one to do, and I mean, it could take up to an hour, it could take any amount of time, or you could just get lucky and get it on your first try. Let me know in the comments how that goes for you. One piece of advice I will give you is if you do come in here, bring 5 flying mounts, because as you see, he just killed my flying mount. However, I got the lucky and the guard actually shot as I was falling down. Last but not least, we have the Tower of the PAL Genetic Research Unit, guarded by Victor and Shadowbeak. This is seemingly the final boss of the game because when you capture them, they are level 50. I will say that it is hard to do, but very possible at lower levels. If you get hit, you're most likely to get one shot, so just don't get hit. As you can see, Victor and Shadowbeak have a ridiculous amount of health, and there's just nothing in the game that can kill them. You can walk around and use them at level 1, and they could probably kill anything. It's absolutely ridiculous. If you enjoyed the video or learned something new, please consider subscribing or leaving a like. If you didn't, then leave a dislike and drop a comment below to let us know why. As always, stay curious.